Bonjour, y'all. Just taking you today on just going to be doing a voiceover for this because obviously the music in the background, don't want to have any copyright issues. But I'm going to the Aldi that's nearby my house here in Perpignan. It's actually probably technically in Cabestany, the little town that's right next door to Perpignan, essentially like a suburb. But I just wanted to show you what the Aldi contents look like. And when you see the pricing, they're obviously going to be in euros. But I'd kind of do some easy math for this, maybe add 20% to it, and that's what the dollar equivalent would be for it. At the time of doing this video, the exchange rate, I think, was around 86 cents per US dollar, 86 euro cents per US dollar. So just to try to make it a little bit easier, because there's going to be a little bit of fees and things like that get assigned to it. But if you just take these prices and add 20%, that'll get you roughly what the dollar equivalent is for it. And but I just want to take you around the store. I will say that what surprised me the most, I've been in a couple of Aldis in the United States, and this one here, as I recall, this one was so clean and organized that I just was really surprised by it. And maybe it's just the timing that I hit. Maybe they had just done some work to stock the shelves and things of that sort. But I was just amazed, I guess, as to how clean and organized the store was versus what I'd seen in the United States, where they tended to just be people just putting things kind of randomly back, and boxes were empty, and it just seemed to be much more disorganized. But again, that could have been when I was going through the store in the United States. It could have just been the wrong time of the week to go to the Aldi. So but it just really what took me back with this was the selection of things. Like, we're going through the pasta aisle here, and it's not like it's 40 different pasta types, but it really was surprising to me the range that they had. And again, I'm not really sure how this pricing looks, but I mean, for a good sized bag of dried macaroni, I just was surprised it'd be like $1 for that. So, and then they had obviously pestos and tomato sauces and things like that to go along with it. But like I said, I just was amazed by the kind of the selection that they had. And these prices, you'll have to tell me in the comments if you find that these prices are better than what you've seen in the United States. Of course, some of these things like these mousselines are not going to be available in the U.S. But it just surprised me. So in a positive way, obviously. Well, there's something that's kind of randomly left behind, but and then this is some rice options, and I'm not going to try to. I mean, you have eyes, so you can see what it's actually looking at here. But I just was surprised, like the different types of rice that they had. I think this was lentil. Yeah, these are lentils, and then these were pretty good sized cans of ravioli, beef ravioli. I've never tried them, so I don't know how good they are or not. But I mean, you see by the grade on the bottom of the can, it's a B level, which again is pretty good. They do a pretty good job of trying to identify what the health quotient is for these things. So this is what, $2.19, so that would be roughly $2.60 roughly for that. This is a paella, couscous paella, which, and I'll get my hand off the top there so you can see it. But for $3.70, so that would be another 75 cents, so maybe $4.50 for that can of that. These are a pretty good size selection of honeys. So we'll just kind of glance through these. And then these are going to be I believe these are preserves. Yeah, I'm just getting more jams down below. But like I said, I just was surprised as to how clean and organized these things. And the other thing that surprised me, and maybe this is not so surprising to people that shop at Aldi all the time, but was the Trader Joe's label on things. There were several items they had Trader Joe's labels on. And, so I thought that was interesting as well. And I think these were just some coffee options. Again, I'm not a coffee drinker, so I don't know if these are decent prices or not. I will say that I did go through I did stop in at the soda aisle, and I thought that the pricing that they had for their Coke Zeros were higher than what I found at the Intermarché. And so here's kind of a glance at the store. Very large store. And they do have the typical Aldi things where they do have an area where it's just all kinds of various bits and pieces of whatever type, slippers and bits of clothing or some other odds and ends of things. This is the kind of the yogurt area and some desserts. And there's one, I think I'm going to pick it up here. It's an egg cream dessert. It looked really, this is it for $1.49 for a €1.50. That looked really good. I didn't end up buying it, but looked really, really good. And I will say, like I said in other videos, is that the packaged food kind of found here so far has been really good quality versus what kind of the packaged food options you typically get in the U.S. Just something I noticed with this. Some yogurts here. They do have some like Greek yogurt options. And then get toward butters at the end. People typically ask me about what they have for beer, things of that sort. I don't drink, so I don't know if these prices are good for a box of beer or if they're not. So I think I showed the box of Heineken and the pricing. Oh, come on, $5.35 it looks like for a box of that Heineken. So. But like I said, y'all will have to tell me if that's a good price or not. I don't know. But they had quite a selection of beers here, so I'm trying to avoid showing people. Oh, and you see my big purchase there, paper towels. Very exciting shopping day here. Oh, they had a really nice selection of chrysanthemums and some other fall flower type things. I thought those were nice. And I think these are going to be like petite pans. So they're like crusty bread, some snacks. Oh, there's some chocolates. I'm not really that much into the those types of kind of sweet snacks type thing. Now cookies, I could do some damage on cookies, but I mean these prices seem to be pretty reasonable for what they are. And we're kind of toward the front again. And in France, they have to identify the origin of the product. So that's why you'll see France and Spain and Brazil and things like that on the fruit and vegetables. And they had a really nice selection. I think I'm going to be showing it here of the breads and some of the viennoiseries that they have, where the kind of the sweet baked goods. And this is a nice setup. And this was remarkable to me too. And again, I sound like this is all like super surprising, and this may be in the Aldis in the US, but just this is the pork section here. And then I'll move over to, these are the chipolitas, which are the sausages that they have. And those are really good. It looks like some tomatoes with something in them. I'm not a big tomato fan, so it's those weren't of interest. But like the ground beef and all that, it's not, those are obviously going to be pretty common, but I just was surprised again as to the variety of packaging that they had for this. I believe these are chicken and some other bits. That's going to be more chicken options, some chicken nuggets. I'm not super keen on chicken nugget type things, but but things like fish sticks, those I can demolish. That I think is like 15 pieces of pork chops, and which I thought was very reasonable for that. Of course, that's obviously more for a family or some sort of party get together. Those look to be kind of fish, kind of like fish and chip style fish, and then those are turkey breasts. I'm showing there, which is probably what we'll end up doing for Thanksgiving, just having a small meal back here at the house. But and then this is just more fish options that they have, and just a wide selection of fish bits, things like that. And this is more kind of a fresher pasta pasta options, and then a whole bunch of pizzas. I did end up buying one of these pizzas because I did want to try it out. That's one thing that's been a little hard to find. There's a couple of places here in Perpignan that have decent pizza, but it's really hard to find things that are not like a bunch of stuff on there that I don't particularly care for. And so I did find one that was kind of a beef and cheddar pizza. But I have to say, it wasn't the worst pizza I've ever had, but it certainly was not super good. And this is in the frozen section, so kind of some more pizza options. They have different types of pizzas. I think I pulled this one out. This is not the one I ended up buying, but it's a pizza bolognese. Was this the pizza bolognese? Yes, that's the pizza bolognese. So, which maybe I should have gone for that one. That might have been better than just the beef and cheddar. But it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't horrible. It's just I wouldn't buy it again. So some crepes, and then of course kind of the standard pizza on some sort of bread, or well, meats and cheese on some sort of bread. This looked interesting. If I wasn't walking back to the house, I probably would have tried this out. But a carbonara, frozen carbonara for $4.50. Which would be roughly $5.50 maybe for in there. And then the lasagnas, which I would imagine are pretty good. But I probably will try one of those out during the winter to see what that's like. They look good. And then a bunch of other little frozen bits here that they had. The meatballs, which I haven't tried those yet. We might give those a try in a little bit. Cheeseburgers, which I think would be a little weird having them. I did see people buying them, but it just seems a little weird with like having the bun and all that with it. So I don't know how well that turns out if it's not something that turns out super wet. But they must have been all right because people were buying them. This looks to be some more frozen pork, like pork chops. Those are $5.75 for that pack. And then starts getting into like burger patties, frozen burger patties. You might hear Miss Freya meowing in the background here. She decided now, of course, every time I start talking, she thinks I'm talking to somebody and it should be her. So, and these some chicken patties, which I thought were interesting too. And then the fish, the frozen fish patties and whatnot. Now, as a child, we had fish sticks a lot. These look actually like they're pretty good, and certainly $2.29 sound like a reasonable price. I didn't buy these, but just wanted to show them to you. But like they're A standard for kind of healthy rating they have here in France. Which I mean, I can't imagine they're going to be like, oh, this is something you can lose weight with, but at least they seem to be healthier. Type thing. And then of course regular fish fillets, cods and whatnot that they have. Supposedly Alaskan cod there, which I imagine it is. They're not going to mislabel these things. And then there's some salmon options and looks like it's pre-made salmon dishes. But the prices seem very, very reasonable for that. I'm just always afraid buying frozen food and then walking back to the house. I know that they're not going to thaw in a 10-minute walk, but I just always have some concern. And then of course there's the kind of the ice cream selections that they have and dessert things. They did have a brand that I recognize, which were the Magnum chocolates, but I don't remember how much those were in the U.S. So if someone can mention, the price comparison, there's Snickers too, but like $2.90 for a box of them. I guess they go up a little higher for those other ones, that other style. But no, like I said, overall with the Aldi, and I think I'm going to be turning around here. So there's like laundry detergent, some household cleaners, and that. And here's kind of like what you typically expect at an Aldi and a Lidl is the kind of the rows of just random things that they put out there. So I didn't walk through that area just because it's like everybody has seen. I mean, it always changes, so there's not really much point in showing that. So, but this is the area that has the laundry detergent in it and household products. Soupline is the fabric softener. But in any case, now I wanted to show you like the prices. Then there's the conversion rate. Here's what the different milk types they have, and it's still strange to me to see them not refrigerated. But and then I'm just showing you pictures now of the various fruits and vegetables that they had and the prices, where they're located, where they came from. I guess like that's from South Africa. We've got some plums from France, probably in the Agen area, and then grapes, of course. These are from Italy. But I just wanted to kind of showcase you what the products look like. I wanted to get this kind of montage at the end. And and they also had wraps from Trader Joe's, which I thought were interesting. I'm going to have to do those for another fajita night and give those a try. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the trip through Aldi here. And I'm going to be doing some other trips through some of the local stores, and we'll just get those up here as soon as I can. Anyway, hope everyone's doing well, and we'll talk to y'all later. Au revoir.